As we begin brake system inspection, diagnostics, and repair, keep in mind that proper service techniques, environmental concerns, and safety are the most important parts of this process. When performing service work of any kind, always protect the interior of the vehicle by using a paper floor mat, a steering wheel cover, and a seat cover. Perform service inside a well-ventilated, dry shop. Make sure the vehicle is parked on a flat surface with the parking brake set and the wheels blocked. When working on the brake system, keep the work area and tools as clean as possible. Also, clean all connections or fittings before disconnecting or removing components. Use a suitable pan to catch any fluid when disconnecting components. All brake component and hydraulic line openings should be immediately plugged during removal and remain so until reinstallation to prevent contamination by dirt, moisture, or other foreign material. Even the slightest particle can cause unexpected problems within the brake system. Do not use brake fluid drained, siphoned, or bled from the system. Never use brake fluid that has been stored in an open container. Be sure that you know the location of properly rated and charged fire extinguishers. Wear safety glasses and chemical-blocking nitrile gloves when performing work of any kind. Be sure to follow each warning, caution, and note as they are presented throughout this training program. Warnings indicate procedures and safety measures that must be followed precisely to avoid personal injury or death to yourself or other shop personnel, and to avoid damage to the vehicle, equipment, or components. Cautions indicate a procedure that you must follow exactly to avoid equipment or component damage. Notes indicate operations, procedures, or instructions that are important for proper service. Keep in mind that when performing service of any kind on the CF Series brake system, a complete inspection must be performed. A good inspection starts with a thorough review of the customer's concerns. Always consult the service writer's notes and review all available information concerning operational symptoms. It's difficult to determine an exact maintenance schedule for medium-duty vehicles, since they will be used in a wide variety of operational applications and conditions. Vehicles operating under severe conditions, such as frequent stop-and-go driving or those that are always fully loaded, will require more frequent service maintenance checks than a vehicle which is used strictly over the road. Therefore, a regular preventative maintenance schedule for periodic inspection should be established. Except for servicing, disc brakes do not require any planned adjustment. By design, the pistons automatically compensate for pad wear to maintain the correct running clearance. Start your preliminary inspection by verifying the driver's complaint, as written by the service writer. Next, conduct a general walk-around visual inspection of the brake system. Always check the fluid level in the master cylinder reservoir and the power steering fluid level before performing the following procedures. Apply the brakes several times and make sure the pedal feel is not spongy. Note your findings. Verify that the reservoir level is not dropping. If the reservoir level is dropping, inspect the brake components, fittings, and lines to locate the source of the leak. Leaks are readily evident by a wet appearance. Start by inspecting the reservoir and hoses. Next, inspect the hydro booster, master cylinder, and the related lines and fittings. Then move to the outside of the vehicle and inspect the lines and fittings to the ABS unit, the ABS unit itself, and the lines and fittings leading to the brake calipers. Finally, inspect the brake calipers for any signs of leakage. While under the vehicle, inspecting the hydraulic fittings and lines for leaks, also inspect the parking brake cable for proper routing and any damage. Check for any damage to the cable and install new components as necessary. If no leaks are found and no obvious damage is found at the caliper ends, proceed with the following. Turn the key on. This will allow the ABS to conduct the self-monitoring test. During this test, the yellow ABS warning indicator will illuminate for 3 seconds. The ABS warning light on the instrument panel will continue to stay lit if a fault code is detected. Next, start the engine. Once the engine is started, the ABS pump motor and solenoid valve coils perform a self-test. During the test, the brake pedal must be released. If the brake pedal is depressed or a failed brake switch occurs, the self-test is run at 4 miles per hour, regardless of the pedal position. If any ABS fault codes are set, you will need to use the EasyTech to diagnose the code set by the system. The EasyTech connects to the vehicle via the IC4 USB interface and the 16-pin data link. The vehicle's data link is located to the left of the steering column. Refer to the Diagnostic Trouble Code Index found on ISIS for DTC descriptions, problem source, and actions to be taken. In-depth diagnostics will be covered in CF Series Brakes Program 2, Advanced Diagnostics. Next, we will conduct a series of tests to validate each component and its operation. Warning: before checking the parking brake, make sure the area around the vehicle is clear. Apply the parking brake. Start the engine. Place the transmission in drive and slowly accelerate. If the vehicle does not move forward, no further action is required. If the vehicle moves forward, the parking brake will need to be adjusted. Refer to Parking Brake Assembly and Adjustment in Module 3. With the engine off, place the transmission in park and apply the brakes several times to relieve pressure in the system. Hold the brake pedal in the applied position. Start the engine. If the power brake system is functioning correctly, the brake pedal will move down after the engine starts. If power steering pump pressure is available to the hydro booster, but no power assist is felt at engine startup, install a new hydro booster as described in Module 3 of this program and retest the system. If power steering pump pressure is not available at the hydro booster, check the power steering pump pressure and flow. Start and run the engine. Then stop the engine. Apply the brakes. The accumulator should retain enough pressure for at least 2 power-assisted brake operations. If no power assist is felt, install a new hydro booster as described in Module 3 of this program and retest the system. After verifying that there are no leaks in the brake's hydraulic system, apply the brakes. If brake pedal height cannot be maintained, the master cylinder has an internal leak. To verify an internal leak, disconnect the brake lines at the master cylinder, plug the outlet ports, and reapply the brakes. If pedal height still cannot be maintained, the master cylinder must be replaced, as described in Module 3 of this program. The compensator ports in the master cylinder supply additional brake fluid required by the system due to brake pad wear. The ports also allow brake fluid returning from the brake lines to the master cylinder to enter the master cylinder reservoir. Returning brake fluid will cause a slight turbulence in the reservoir. This is normal and shows that the ports are not plugged.